podcast may contain mature themes, and if you're not down with that, we got 3 words for you. Like the podcast. Nailed it!
What is up? Good morning, everybody. Well, you know, my dad once said, in marriage, should never go to bed angry. He wasn't a big sports fan, but probably could relate that to your sports fandom as well. I mean, we might as well get right into it. Iowa State went down to Texas Tech, built a 23-point lead against the worst team in the Big 12, winless team in the Big 12, mind you. And 12 minutes left, proceeded to lose their ever-loving minds. Taman Lipsey, love that kid, turned into a freshman before our eyes last night. The whole team just melted down and lost in overtime. And, I was following Twitter and stuff like that. And, people complaining about the refs and things like that. I mean, that certainly didn't help, but that's not the reason why they lost. Chris Williams from Cyclone Fanatic tweeted out that, this team led by 17 and has lost a couple of games by having, 20-point leads. And I jokingly was like, I blame Chris Williams for this. So that was a joke. I don't blame him for that. But, I mean, he's right. Once is an anomaly. Twice is a trend. 3 times, that's, something to be concerned about. So, but was I heated last night about it? Yeah, I just could not believe it. I was not happy. But, sleeping, getting a good night's rest, not taking that shit with you overnight. I kind of woke up this morning and was like, they were picked to finish like 8th or 9th in the Big 12. We're sitting here after, and mind you, they played on Saturday on the road in Missouri, came back home, flew back out to Texas Tech. I don't know, maybe they flew right to Texas Tech. I don't know, but 2 games in 2 days, I think they were a little tired, a little exhausted. Now, listen, that stuff, they're going to have to do that in the tournament. They're going to play back-to-back in the Big 12, and they're going to play, some back-to-back stuff in the NCAA tournament. So I get that they need to do that, but not with travel in there and things like that. So that's kind of a big deal too. But woke up this morning and thought, okay, so they were picked last in the Big 12. Here we are. We sit at 6-3. They are, I think, still tied with, or maybe a game behind Kansas State in the standings. They have Kansas coming tonight to. They have Kansas coming on Saturday at 11. They are sitting at 6-3. Kansas State is 6-2. Texas is 7-2. So Kansas State loses to Kansas tonight. We're right there, sitting at second place, tied with Kansas State, Iowa State, Kansas. So it's kind of bunched up there in second place. We have a chance to beat Kansas at home. It's going to be an amazing environment. Cyclone Alley and the students have really rocked it the last 2 games. So we're sitting where we, everybody at the beginning of the season would sign up for in a heartbeat. So, there's no sense in being pissed off about it. No. Would I like to have had that game back last night? Yeah, absolutely. I would. I'd like to have the Kansas game at Kansas. I mean, let's be honest. But Oklahoma State and Texas Tech, both teams that aren't super great, that we both went down on the road, had large leads, gave them up, needs to be fixed. TJ knows that. He doesn't need us to tell him that. Kuntz is coming back here. I think this week he went through kind of warm-ups last night. I think Cyclone Larry tweeted out this morning, which was a great point. He's going to be able to handle the press, help us handle the press, and change 2 or 3 possessions with his defense. So I think we're going to be all right. I'm excited for the stretch run here in February, and let's go. There's no sense in every single one of us would sign up for where we're at right now. So, to say that this team is in trouble or we're gonna falter or whatever, I think they've proven the last 2 years that they have some resiliency and that they can win some games and make some noise in the tournament. And then we got those 2 classes coming in. So the future's bright for Iowa State men's basketball. Flipping to Iowa State football, in a sense, let's talk about Brock Purdy. Torn UCL. I had to look that up. I don't even know what that is. But for all you people that was like, well, he's soft and he needs to get out there and blah, 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 blah. I said yesterday, again, if you don't think that kid didn't want to be out there playing when he's sitting there as a 7th round draft choice, he's on the verge of making this his team. If you think he just wanted to sit there like, oh, my elbow hurts a little bit, so I can't play, and that was his choice, it wasn't. And now looking and seeing that he had a torn UCL, Reggie Bush tweeted out, oh, well, he needs to be out there. Patrick Mahomes is out there with a bad ankle. But yet Reggie Bush tweeted just 3 weeks earlier that Lamar Jackson shouldn't play if he's hurt because his contract is more important and so on. Well, which is it, Reggie? I mean, which is it? I don't see you. You had an injury. You didn't play when you were hurt. I don't know. He can't throw. His arm itself he has no ability to grip the football and whatever. It's not like a leg injury. Even like years ago when Phillip Rivers played with a partially torn ACL. I mean, the kid gutted it out, but he still could throw. If it wasn't ideal, and maybe if they would have put the backup in who had full mobility, maybe they would have won that game. I don't know. Listen, as a Bears fan, I can remember when Jay Cutler tore his ACL in the NFC Championship game, and they had to bring in I don't know. I think it was like Chad Hutchinson or some God knows how many Bears quarterbacks we had. I don't know. And people were crucifying him. I mean, if he can't play, he can't play. There's a difference between playing hurt and playing injured. And sometimes you just can't go. I mean, Jesus. And every single one of the Twitter followers out there that were like, he's soft or blah, blah, blah. You're not even in the league. So shut the fuck up. Now, what are they going to do? I mean, yeah, I guess that he's out 6 months. That takes him out of OTAs. That takes him out of minicamp. Takes him out of the beginning of preseason. I don't know what Trey Lance's timeline is to come back from a broken ankle. Garoppolo is going to be a free agent. I think he's gone. Do they bring in Tom Brady and then mentor Brock for a couple years? I guess. I mean, the window to win is now with that team, with the defense and where their offense is. So I would love to see Brock be able to take that. It'll be interesting to see what they do. So, yeah. Let's address the other part of the NFL. Let's talk about Chicago Bears and the number 1 pick. I haven't addressed that. I haven't talked about that a lot. I will tell you this. I will absolutely lose my shit if we trade Justin Fields. Like, the kid is 2 years into our system. He's on the cusp of breaking out. You saw what he could do this year. Put some people around him and go for a playoff berth. If you trade him and start all over again for somebody like Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, and then you got to wait for them to catch up to where Justin Fields is now, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Like, there's no way they can do that. Trade back out of that number 1 pick. Pick up a couple extra picks. Get some offensive linemen. Get some defensive prowess that can rush the passer. Pick up a couple free agent wide receivers, and we're there. I mean, I think we have some good. We don't have a true number one. Like Darnell Mooney is not a true number one wide receiver to me. He's just not. I don't know what it was this year. I don't know if it was the scheme or what have you. But let's see what's out there. You know, people are talking about let's trade for DeAndre Hopkins. I don't. We're not there yet for a Super Bowl run, right? So I don't know that he's where we need to be. So that's my thoughts. Trade the number one pick. Don't trade Justin Fields. Trade the number one pick. Get some extra draft choices. Let's build around that kid. We finally have a stud at quarterback. Let's run with it, for God's sakes. Come on. Like it's all a smokescreen anyways. They're just dangling him out there that they're going to take the number one pick so they can get more picks from whoever wants to move up, whether it's Houston or Indianapolis. That's kind of how I feel. But all right, now it's my rant of the day. I had to drive into Stacy's school to pick up Jordan's backpack. He's home today. He's going to work. He's going to go to school from home. And I pull into the parking lot and my little sensor light goes off on my car for my tire. So I'm like, fuck. Number one, that thing never goes off when it's like 80 degrees and balmy out. It's always when it's freaking cold. And I get that it's probably caused by the cold weather or whatever, right? But I've now established that I know who the worst people on the face of the earth are. And it's you a-holes that use the free air thing at the gas pumps or at the gas stations and don't put the frickin' air thing back on its little loop thing and you just leave it on the ground where it gets broken. I went to 3 different gas stations today where the thing was just laying on the ground, buried in the snow, and then part of the piece was broke off or whatever because you're too fucking lazy to put the thing back on there so that the next person that needs to use it, which is free, by the way, you're getting a free service. You're getting a free service and you're too lazy to wrap the thing around because you're cold or whatever else. Like, give me a break. And these businesses that provide it for free, I appreciate that. I really do. You people that charge like 50 cents for it, you're assholes. Okay, it's air that's all around you that you're just compressing and blowing out a little machine. It's not like it's costing you a lot of money. So you suck. The people that give it for free, like Casey's and Come and Go, I appreciate it. But you fucking people that don't want to take care of that stuff and just as soon as you're done, just toss the fucking thing and let it land on the ground and break, or you toss it in the ice and snow, and next thing you know, you got to drag it out of there and it's packed with snow. You're an asshole. So that's my rant for today. Stop being assholes. Luckily, I don't have a flat tire. I think it's just a slow leak. But you people, oh, geez. It's ranked right up there with the people that don't take their carts back. Like, how lazy are you? It's right there. The little cart place is right there. You think these people that get paid minimum wage at Hy-Vee or whatever want to traipse around all the whole parking lot to pick up these carts because you're too freaking lazy to take it back or to put it in a cart? I mean, come on. Jerks. Okay. All right. Shout out everybody that commented yesterday. I had a couple comments on the Facebook feed. So super appreciate that. One of them was my sister-in-law, Julie, and then a couple other people. So I appreciate that. Again, let's go to Brown Dogs Farms. Let's highlight Brown Dogs Farm today. Robin and Amanda. Those guys are killing it with their hot sauce and stuff. I'm going to bring up their website so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here, because they have some cool stuff. There we go. Look at this. Let's bring this all the way up, full size. Whoops, my little thing's in the way. There we go. So they've got all these great hot sauces. Hot sauce, jalapeno green apple, ghost pineapple, habanero peach, ghost pear, cherry rhubarb reaper, their classic and spicy ranch. The best thing about their ranch is that the boys don't like it and they eat ranch all the time. So I can buy this ranch and then I get to eat it by myself, which is awesome. But they've got a great recipe blog here with some recipes that they have. Oh, these tacos they made, these braised pork al star. These things looked really good on their website. So you can shop online. Can order it in 8 states with different locations, but you can order right online here and get some awesome hot sauce. And they're a small company. They've got apparel, all kinds of stuff. So be sure to check out Brown Dogs Farms for all your hot sauce. Whatever you got a Super Bowl party coming up, they'd be great on some wings. You fry some wings. And then put on maybe some of that cherry reaper. Man, that sounds good. That's some good stuff. So, all right. I got shit to do. So we will finish up. You guys all have a great day. Be good to each other.